Hey guys, Eckhart Slaughter with another military top 5 video, and once again we're looking at the Republic as it existed during the time of the Clone Wars, except today instead of looking at capital ships, we're looking at starfighters. And all of the starfighters from today's list actually exist in both Legends and canon, so no real need for me to make two lists, which is kind of nice for once. Alright, so let's get started. Number 5 is the Alpha 3 Nimbus class V-Wing Starfighter. And the best shot you get of this starfighter is in Revenge of the Sith. Right after Palpatine picks up Anakin's burnt body, you see two of these starfighters escorting his dropship. And if you think these things kind of look like a TIE fighter, well, you'd be right, because they're actually the predecessor of the TIE fighter, and they're very much like perhaps a TIE Interceptor. And what I mean is that they were extremely cheap and usually fielded in high numbers. If you look at them, they have a very small profile, but they're very quick, and also kind of like a TIE Interceptor. They have no shielding and not really a whole lot of firepower. Still, unlike a TIE Interceptor, they at least had room in the back for an R2 unit who could do some minor repairs, and I kind of wonder why the Empire didn't continue that tradition with its TIE fighter lines. Another interesting thing is that this fighter could be modified to hold proton bombs, so if you were in a tight situation and you needed a kind of multi-purpose bomber, this would do an alright job. Number 4 is the Eta II Actis class Interceptor, commonly known as the Jedi Starfighter. These were the ships used by Anakin and Obi-Wan during the Battle of Coruscant at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. So the Eta was another really interesting ship, and also kind of similar to a TIE fighter because it was very, very fast and very agile, but really weak, and actually I think you could describe it as brittle. The ship didn't even have a shield, and we saw in Revenge of the Sith how much damage just a few buzz droids could do. So imagine how bad it would be if this ship took, say, a missile head on. I was a little surprised to learn how feeble these ships are. I mean, Jedi are an extremely valuable resource, so you would think that you'd want to do whatever you can not to lose them in a random battle. On the other hand, I guess really talented pilots, and especially Jedi, would probably be able to best take advantage of the ship's incredible speed, its agility, its nimbleness, and its small profile. You may be wondering what really puts this ship ahead of the Nimbus B-Wing, because they seem to operate in pretty similar roles. And really, to be honest, it's just that the Jedi Starfighter had really impressive weaponry, and actually it could pack more of a punch than most ships on this list. Number 3 is the Delta 7B Light Interceptor, and this one is often referred to as the Jedi Interceptor. The Delta 7B was only a very minor upgrade over the Delta 7, so I'm going to speak about them both as if they were the same. And if you don't know what ship I'm referring to here, it's the one that Obi-Wan uses to fight Boba Fett, and we see it do some pretty impressive maneuvers and really some impressive things in that battle. One of the notable things about the ship is that it's the first on this list that actually has a dedicated shield, which is interesting to me because many Republic and certainly most Imperial crafts did not go that route and instead focused on small, expendable fighters. Like the other ships on this list, the Interceptor was pretty fast and it was maneuverable, but it didn't really pack a whole lot of punch, and certainly less so than the Jedi Interceptor. To be fair though, I don't think anyone was flying this ship because of the damage output. Rather, its speed and its shielding is really what made the Jedi Interceptor attractive. Number 2 is the Clone Z-95 Starfighter, and yes, I say Z, and it's because I'm Canadian. For all intents and purposes, this ship was essentially the regular Z-95 Headhunter. That means that it's an extremely well-rounded ship with impressive shielding, good speed, and pretty decent firepower. The Z-95 can be seen as a really early version of an X-Wing, although there are some obvious downgrades. The first is that instead of having 4 wings to put weapons on, it only has 2. That also affected its general maneuverability as well. The only thing really keeping this ship from number 1 on the list is the fact that it's not an impressive multi-purpose fighter, and it's more suited for handling one-on-one small fighter engagements. Let's keep that in mind as we look at number 1. So it's that time. The number 1 most deadly, most dangerous starfighter used by the Galactic Republic is the Aggressive Reconnaissance 170 Starfighter, also known as the ARC 170. Kind of unsurprisingly, this ship was made by the same company that made the Z-95 Headhunter and would later make the X-Wing. And some people actually compare this to an early X-Wing, but I say it's more like a cross between an X-Wing and a B-Wing. That's because while the ship could take on other smaller starfighters in one-on-one combat, it could also directly engage capital ships. The ship was large, had a strong hull, and a good shield. And I mean, it was decently maneuverable, and its S-foils really helped in that respect. But the most impressive thing about the ARC-170 was its gunnery, and it actually had so many weapons that it needed a co-pilot, a gunner, along with the R2 unit and the pilot, to fly the ship and attack at the same time. And specifically, the ship had 2 forward-mounted cannons, 2 backward-mounted cannons, and a torpedo launcher, so this gave it some obvious advantages. Sometimes a smaller, more nimble ship is arguably more effective, but just generally, the versatility and the firepower packed by the ARC-170 make it almost unbeatable to me. And especially given the fact that it's the only ship on this list with an actual onboard hyperdrive unit. Anyways guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if I missed any ships, which one is your favorite, and just what you thought of the list overall. I also have a question of the day which I think is interesting, and which I'd really like to hear your guys' opinion on. You've just been given control of a Venator-class Star Destroyer. Due to an overabundance of cargo, the destroyer only has room for 20 starfighters. How do you fill those 20 starfighters with the ships from this list? For example, do you go with 10 ARC-170s and the rest Jedi Starfighters? Do you go with a mix of all 5 or all of one ship? Your goal is ultimately to be prepared for any situation you encounter, whether that's part of a larger fleet battle or a one-on-one with some sort of separatist destroyer. Let me know what you think down in the comments so I know that you got this far. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. May the Force be with you.